Hello and welcome back. Now today I'm unboxing this. It is the Airfix 6 World Rally Cars set in 1/43 scale. Now these were co-released by Heller and Airfix. You might see them as Heller, you might see them as Airfix. I bought this on eBay. However, back in the day it looks like these were sold reduced for $14.99, which I think is a really good deal for 6 cars. And of course in this set you've got the Impreza WRC 2002, Ford Focus 2001, that is the 2003 206 I think, Citroën Xsara, I think that is also 2003, the Subaru Impreza 2000, and I think that's 2002, Mitsubishi, I'm not sure, maybe it's 2001, I'm not sure. It's funny how the Impreza has got the year on it and none of the others have. What I do like though is that whilst these only come with one set of decals for each car, each one of them is driven by a world champion. So you've got Petter Solberg, Carlos Sainz Sr., Marcus Gronholm, Sebastian Loeb, Richard Burns and Tommy Mäkinen. That is quite a lot of titles combined between those. Let's open it up and look inside. This is the set that came with paints and glue as well. So there you are, we've got some tips there in different nationalities. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kits in here. Paints and glues, instructions and decals. So let's have a look. So here's the instructions, and as well as that we've got the paints and glues here. Now this is in a sandwich bag, so I don't know how good these are going to be anymore, but yeah, it's interesting. 209, so we've got a fluorescent red, got black, yellow, 2 tubs of blue, that looks like it might be metallic, it's probably kind of Subaru blue, grey, red, that looks like it has been opened at some point, black, gold and silver. But there is no brush and no glue in this, it doesn't really matter, I'm not going to use these. The instructions, these are on these big sheets, so yeah, I've got some things on there. Subaru switched from the legacy to the smaller, nimbler Impreza in 1993 and had a very successful late 90s, winning the Drivers' Championship with Colin McRae as well as 3 Constructors titles. 2000 would be the last year using this GC Impreza before moving on to the bug-eyed GD. This is the Impreza 2000. Now, some of these kits I have built, and if you want to see me building them, they will be up here in a link, so check out that. You've got the decal instructions on there. This is Burns' car from 2000 at the Rally Argentina. Okay, so here is the 2000 Impreza. It's the only one moulded in colour. You've got blue bodywork here, quite distinctive, that Impreza body. There is a moulding error there by the looks of it, that is a shame. That will need to be sanded flat. Yeah, quite distinctive shape of that body. It's pretty good. The interior, so it's even got the space for the helmets. We've got things like fire extinguisher. It's a nice couple of features. We've got the radiator grille here with the headlights moulded in, floor, 2 sets of seats, that's the rear wing, there's the dashboard, steering wheel, and yeah, there's the 2 wing mirrors and a gear stick. Then you've got the wheels here, as I said before, all the wheels in these kits are moulded of 2 parts styrene, and then you've got the clear parts here. So we've got the windscreen, all one piece, and tail lights, headlights, those indicators, and that's that. Let's put that in away, make sure it's nice and safe. Now, big decal sheet for this one. I think unfortunately there might be a bit of a misprint here. The white just looks a little bit out of line. I'd have to test it and see what it's like, but just if you can see, you see a bit of a white border around some of the bright yellow. So yeah, I found online that you can get alternatives for these, and since I've built this one already, I might even be tempted to build it as a different version, but yeah, there we are. Anyway, the Focus Mark 1 came out in 1998 and replaced the Escort as the World Rally car of choice in 1999. The car achieved many victories with former champions Colin McRae and Carlos Sainz, but didn't win a championship until the second generation in 2006. Then we've got the Ford Focus. So this one was driven by Carlos Sainz, also by Colin McRae, although we've only got decals for Carlos Sainz. There we are. So here we got the Ford Focus. So a little bit different here in that some of the sections, like these vents in the wing, got little holes for them. Also got some aerials in the roof, slightly wide wheel arches, but that is unmistakably the first generation Focus car, which I still think looks fairly modern now. We've got the interior there, got fire extinguisher, bit of mechanical detail, spare wheel, notice all those 5-spoke wheels, wing mirror, handbrake, aerials, dashboard with pedals this time. Got floor, not much detail there. That's the rear wing. Then we've got the radiator, headlights, seats, steering wheel. That's that roof vent, and I think that goes behind the steering wheel. The windows here, so all those separate to the rear window, which has also got those tail lights, headlights, and I think that there is used in place of the kind of grille at the front. But yeah, there's the decals here. So a bit of carbon fibre on that interior decal there. Got a bit of a kind of high-vis going on those martini stripes. See, they want you to paint the blue sections, so yeah, a bit of painting need to be done here. But yeah, as I say, this one is has Carlos Sainz and Luis Moya. There we are. The Lancer Evolution found great success in the WRC in the late 90s, winning 4 consecutive drivers' titles from 1996 to 1999 with the Finn Tommi Mäkinen. Mitsubishi continued to adhere to the Group A regulations all the way up to 2001, even after the WRC regulations had been changed in 97. On to the next one. So this is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. All of these kits come with plastic wheels, but there's a nice amount of detail. We've got moulded detail in the interior, things like spare tyres, handbrake, gear stick, things like that. Seatbelt decals as well. Exterior, spoiler. Also, most of these have got wing mirrors. There we are. How that one looks. Oh yeah, so this is the 2001 Monte Carlo Mitsubishi Lancer. There we are, some vents on there, lots of space for aerials and vents. This is the 4-door version, I should say. Rear moulded number plate. So yeah, that's pretty good. Feels pretty robust as well. Then interior there with fire extinguisher. Actually quite a few details on this. We've even got some raised wire detail. 5-point wheels. We've got things like a rear view mirror, handbrake, aerials. There's the dashboard, no pedals. There's the floor, bit of detail on there. steering wheel, there's the vent for the roof, and actually you've got a couple of pieces for the rear spoiler there, and there's the seats. So yeah, it looks like this one's got a bit more going for it than some of the other kits. However, annoyingly, I've just noticed that I think we are missing some parts, because there's the window, and this was detached, and there's the headlights, but I don't know, maybe they're in there. Yeah, they are. Well, there's one, and there's the other one. Okay, I'm not going to take those out, so actually the headlights have fallen off and they're in the bag, so I'm going to leave those there. Don't want to lose them. So here are the decals from this one. This one as well, title sponsor Marlboro, so that's why you've got these white squares. Got that kind of distinctive black and grey pattern down the side, the rally art, and I think that there is a printing error on this one because, firstly, sometimes you can see some things are a little bit out of line. See a little white border around there, it just looks a little bit out of line. And secondly, if you look down here, there is no blue cross on the Finnish flag. That is a shame, because I don't know how easy it is to get replacements for ones like this. But yeah, showing its age a little bit here, and yeah, that's disappointing. The GD Bug-Eye Impreza would find immediate success in the WRC, winning the 2001 driver's title with Richard Burns. Burns would move to Peugeot in 2002, and the Bug-Eye would only stay for one more year, as its unpopularity in the mass market meant they'd changed to the Blob-Eye for 2003. Then we've got the 02 Impreza here. It's the Bug-Eye version. This was the version that Richard Burns won his championship with in 2001, although he had left by then. Decals there on the sides. So here we have the Bug-Eye version of the Impreza. And this one is the four-door version. Slot there for the rear bumper, for the spoiler. Lots of holes for aerials. You've got moulded wipers on this one. This is pretty nice. I would say you can see that this one's just that little bit more modern. The bumper is actually removed. You can see how that will go like that. There is actually a build video for this, or at least a clip show, which you can see up here. And then we've got those wheels, interior parts, aerials, racing seats. Again, we've got the bit for the helmets, fire extinguisher floor with a little bit of detail, rear spoiler, dashboard, and I don't know, so it's like a vent goes somewhere, that one. Yeah, but there we are. And then we've got the clear parts. So this one, oh dear, right, so it seems to be missing a tail light, so I'm going to have to look in the bag. And you've got the window there, but no headlights, because this one is the Bug-Eye. And let's hope that we haven't lost the tail light. I'll have to look for that now. Oh, wish me luck. I've got the decals for that Subaru. So yeah, these ones are definitely printed better than the 2000 version. This is from the Rally of France. And yeah, this one is, where have we got the driver's name? There we are, Peter Solberg. Okay. It's not bad. Peugeot introduced the 206 as their World Rally car in 1999, and after having a rocky debut season, went on to win the Constructors' title in 2000, 2001 and 2002, as well as 2 drivers' titles for Finn Marcus Gronholm in 2000 and 2002. However, by 2003 it was starting to show its age and was replaced by the 307 Coupe Cabriolet. Then we've got the Peugeot 206. Now I have built the 307, but not the 206. You've got things like this decal here on the radiator goes behind the grille opening there. And then we've got the decals for that one. This one went through a few different looks over the years. So here we've got the Peugeot. Okay, quite distinctive shape there. My understanding is the Peugeot was actually too short and they actually had to like build onto the bumpers at the front to make it qualify for the WRC. But yeah, so the boot section there is separate. Hopefully that joins in nicely. One of the seats has come away. Here we are. And then you've got the rest of the parts. We've got those wheels, we've got the rear wing, interior, the moulded spare tyre and fire extinguisher. There's the other seat. Floor, bit more detail on this. A couple of flaps, not sure what those are. We'll find out. Got the dashboard there, mirrors, vent, lots of wires, aerials I should say for the top, and there's the boot lid with those rear lights and steering wheel, handbrake, that sort of thing there. And there, single piece for the windows, headlights, tail lights, and that's it. Here's the decals for this one. So yeah, seat belts there, that goes on the radiator, Michelin logos. This is from Rally New Zealand, and it's number 1 because Marcus Grönholm, as you can see there, he was the champion at the time. And yeah, not much on these because the title sponsor was Marlboro, so that's why that's not on there. But still, these look pretty good. I've actually built the 1/24th version of this from Heller, and you can see a link to that just above. It's one of the first things I ever did on this channel. Citroën started racing the Xsara in 1999, but wouldn't enter a full season of the WRC until 2003. They found almost immediate success, winning 4 rallies and the Constructors' title. Frenchman Sébastien Loeb would then take the Xsara to win the next 3 titles, the first 3 of his consecutive 9 championships in total. Finally, we've got the Citroën Xsara. Shown here. Look on the other side. This one I remember has 3 different colours, so a lot to mask on that one. Anyway, let's have a look. Now we have the Citroën. So there's the body of this. Interestingly, I don't know whether they go for a bit more detail because it's Heller and they're French, but this one has separate rear and front bumpers. It also has a separate grille there and moulded in wipers. Obviously 2003, so this is more modern than many of the other ones, but I can see a bit more detail going into this one. And yeah, we've got wheels there, got 2 mirrors. In aerials, these seats are actually moulded in, so that's interesting, that's different. Dashboard, which does have some pedals. Floor of the car, got the front, rear, and the spoiler there, and as I said, you've got a separate radiator grille, which is quite different to a lot of the others. And then we've got the interior windows. And then you've got the headlights and taillights. And finally, to go with that, you've got these decals. So seatbelts there. Telefonica, because Carlos Sainz had taken that sponsorship there, I believe. This is a Monte Carlo rally car. And this was from when Loeb hadn't won any of his titles. So there you are, Loeb and Elena. There we are. So there we have the Airfix 6 World Rally Cars. Which one of these would you build? And in your opinion, do you think Airfix should, or maybe Heller should release some more of these multi-car sets? I know that Airfix have recently started doing a lot more of these 1/43rd versions. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know down below what you think. and don't forget to like, subscribe, all those things. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon.